And it's time for Lefties Losing It. Let's start with the insufferable Michelle Obama, who appears to have created a podcast just to share passive-aggressive invective about her husband and to whine incessantly. Here she is with actress Julia Louis-Dreyfus. She's also a Democrat activist. And yes, she's whining again. Apparently life for the American woman is unbearable. Those women living in Afghanistan and Iran, living under Islamist rule, they should be shedding tears for these two indulged millionaire victims.
Women, we have so many landmines and barriers and don'ts and limitations. It's, you know, I mean, Craig, you're the guy at the table, but I think it's important for all guys listening, especially men raising daughters, to realize that difference. You know, and that thing that inadvertently, as you are loving and raising these beautiful girls, there are so many rules that make us small.
Baked in without our knowing it, you know?
Oh, it's baked in, folks, baked in. Let's hear an example of this baked in oppression facing women in the West. Please educate us, Julia.
And I wish I could, I mean, I remember people saying, oh, well, she's a female doctor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As opposed to just, she's a doctor.
Wow, profound. That's just terrifying subjugation. I think I have secondhand trauma from just hearing that. You know, Julia Louis-Dreyfus campaigned for Kamala, even though her second most famous character she played, Selena Myers, was essentially Kamala. Let's have a look at Vice President Selena Myers and Vice President Kamala Harris.
My fellow Americans, words have many meanings, and sometimes instead of conveying our meaning, they can suggest other meanings.
When we talk about the children of the community, they are the children of the community.
Well, we are the United States of America because we are united. And we are states.
Talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time.
Whatever we have in store cannot be known. The past was once the future. The future is, I should say, unknown.
We got to take this stuff seriously as you are, because you have been forced to have to take it seriously.
Now that's terrifying. She came this close to being president. And today is the anniversary of the assassination attempt against Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania. Let's have a look at the way the leftist print media reported the president suffering a gunshot wound, narrowly escaping being killed. Just have a look at some of the shameful reporting, and it'll serve as a reminder that you don't hate the leftist media enough. You think you do, but trust me, you don't. Let's start with CNN. Their headline read, Secret Service rushes Trump off stage after he falls at rally. He must have been clumsy that day. NBC referred to popping noises. Were they balloons, NBC? At least MSNBC mentioned gunshot-like sounds, while the Washington Post mentioned loud noises. Loud noises. Reminds me of this scene from Anchorman.
Loud noises!
But I've got to say, the worst of a bad lot is USA Today, who went with this headline. They said Trump removed from stage by Secret Service after loud noises startles former president. Just incredible. And the broadcast media, who habitually lied about Donald Trump, who for 8 solid years did everything possible to whip up hate and hysteria against Trump, well, they were eager to blame him for almost being killed. Here is ABC.
You point out those statements from J.D. Vance and Vivek Ramaswamy. Of course, President Trump and his supporters have contributed to this violent rhetoric as well.
Well, absolutely, George. We were just looking back this morning at some of the things that former President Trump has said. He warned last March of potential death and destruction if he were charged by the Manhattan District Attorney. Our country is being destroyed as they tell us to be peaceful. Trump in January warned of bedlam in the country if the criminal charges against him succeeded. And of course, in March, He said, now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole. That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That will be the least of it. He said he was partly joking and that was taken out of context. But those are indeed his words.
Just shameless victim blaming and gaslighting there by ABC. By the way, that bloodbath comment was about the car industry. It's all on tape. You can watch it for yourself. ABC is, of course, lying, misleading. This is the same organisation that just paid a massive settlement to Trump, not a big enough price for deliberate dishonesty. And yes, George Stephanopoulos was at the centre of that case. But back to the reporting after the assassination attempt. Not only did they seek to blame Donald Trump for almost being killed, but I wonder if they can find a way to perhaps blame his supporters. Maybe mention January 6 again.
Supporters are certainly in some parts angry, and let's remember January 6th. In so many ways for the campaign, January 6th will probably be in the background after yesterday's event. This is a very difficult time for this campaign. I'm sure this week in Milwaukee that President Trump will highlight this.
Just pathetic gutter reporting there. Now let's go to the footage. This was shot by one of the rally attendees. This is the immediate aftermath. It's astonishing footage.
The president's been shot. Oh no. No. Either that or they're covering. We don't know. Either that or they're covering him. We love you. We love you, President Trump. We love you. We love you, President Trump. We love you. Yes. 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 We love you, President Trump. No. No, he's shot. He's shot.
Let's go to the great state of Florida, where Turning Point USA's Student Action Summit was held last week. And predictably, the left were outraged and protesting, trying to shut down the event. But something rather wonderful happened. The young'uns at the summit got out on the streets and protested back against the people calling them Nazis.
Mass deportation! Mass deportation! Mass deportation!
Yes, they were chanting for mass deportations. And watch what happened when a deranged leftist stopped his car in the middle of the street to confront those attending the summit. But after he attacks a man, something very interesting happens. A veteran cop arrives and delivers a dose of instant karma. This is a classic case of what the kids call FAFO. He effed around and he found out.
Look at you, bro. Come on. Where you at? Let's go. Let's go. You know me. Let's go. Come on. Put you in the bathroom. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come close. Jump. Come close. You ready? You ready? Oh, you want something? You ready? Come on. Get over there. Come on. Come on. Your car. They're going to steal your car. They're going to steal your car. Hey, come over here. Oh, wow. Fighting. Alex, what up?
That is hilarious. And Blaze reports that man has now been charged with battery and resisting arrest and with driving under the influence. Joining me now is comedian and host of Prime Time with Alex Stein on Blaze TV. Alex, that man did get a dose of instant karma. You can't get away with that sort of behaviour in Florida. New York, California maybe, but not Florida. You were at this student summit. Tell me a little bit about what happened there.
Well, it was a great weekend. We're all in Tampa, Florida, and I just want to say Turning Point was so gracious to let me speak at the, Chapter Leadership Summit before the event to all the college kids. And let me just tell you, this guy was outnumbered. He tried to go to a knife fight, and he didn't have a gun. He didn't have the right weapon, and he tried to throw punches, and he got annihilated by the Tampa PD because they were not messing around. And a lot of people knew that this protest was going to happen. This protest was planned in advance to counter-protest this event. And the protester learned a serious lesson that Trump derangement syndrome will land you in jail if you don't take care of it properly.
Yeah, you don't mess around in the red states. In the blue states, yeah, they will be fine. They would look the other way. Now, Donald Trump has celebrated the one-year anniversary of surviving an assassin's bullet with the Chelsea Football Club. I'll bring you some footage of that in a second. But first, let's hear from the president. He was asked here about how he felt about the day.
On this one-year anniversary of Butler, what was going through your mind this morning when you woke up? I know that you're praising God you're alive, but a lot of people want to know how you're taking this day on this one-year anniversary.
God was protecting me. Maybe because God wanted to see our country do better or do really well, make America great again. But God was protecting me, Brian. I'll tell you, it's the more you think about it, the more you see it.
Alex, he went on to say that he doesn't like to think about that day, and he said being president is a dangerous job and he'd rather not think about that danger. How do you feel about that day? It certainly changed the course of history.
I mean, could you imagine if that bullet was just a couple centimeters in a different direction and Donald Trump died that day and Kamala Harris was our president? I mean, I just couldn't imagine that reality. So it is true what Donald Trump said, that it was God that saved his life. I think that was the only thing that could have actually stopped that. And it's very sad that somebody did pass away, you know, a firefighter, a great guy. So this is a horrible tragedy, but this was the catalyst that helped Donald Trump win. So once again, it was a horrible thing. But, you know, looking back, I think this was the moment that really sealed the deal for Donald Trump in this past election. So it was a horrible thing, but it had a positive outcome.
I think will go down in our lifetimes as perhaps the most historic moment. I don't think we fully appreciate just how incredible that was, and that vision and that image. They'll be looking at that hundreds of years from now. Now, I mentioned the Chelsea Football Club. Donald Trump was at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey earlier today to witness Chelsea dominate the FIFA Club World Cup final, and he ended up celebrating the famous victory with the team.
Has turned to gold. Chelsea, the FIFA Club World Cup champions.
Wow, is that enough to make you a soccer fan, Alex? The 2026 World Cup is going to be in North America.
Well, you know, that was not an accident what Donald Trump did. He was showing his, you know, presidential power, that he is the most powerful man in the world, because a lot of people want the World Cup to boycott America because of his politics. So what Donald Trump did by standing on that stage was kind of just tell the world that, listen, I'm the most powerful guy in the world. The World Cup is happening here in America, and you haters cannot do anything in your power to stop it. So I love what Donald Trump did. I think he sent a message to the entire world on, you know, he's going to be unapologetically the president of the free world. And, you know, he's just not going to worry about the haters. And I love that about President Trump.
No, he's certainly not going to worry about the haters. And this is the incredible thing about him losing in 2020 when the whole machinery was against him. He would have missed out on being president when the World Cup is in America. He would have missed out on the Olympics, the 250-year celebration of the country. So, again, it's funny how things work out. Now, before you go, you've managed to upset more people. I've just come across this footage. And I've got to say, it's hard to defend you at times, Alex. Here you are trying to stop what you call big booty Latinas from being deported.
Big booty Latinas can stay. Protect big booty Latinas. Man, what's up with that? I don't come over here disrespecting our women. Well, I'm trying to protect them. I don't want them to get deported. Racist ass. How is that racist? I want big booty Latinas protected. Dude, I'm on your side. Dude, what are you doing? I'm scared. I'm not scared at all. What's going on? Get the fuck push me.
I don't want to victim blame, Alex, but you were kind of asking for it.
Well, no, Rita, I wasn't. I was out there trying to protect the big booty Latinas. And I had to say, this is the biggest bipartisan political movement that is sweeping the nation. A lot of people are on board. And listen, if you're a 9, you're fine. If you're an 8, we can have a debate. But the big booty Latinas get to stay. Now, the Trinidad Arruga gangbangers, you know, you guys can get out of here. But the ladies, I believe they all deserve amnesty. And that's not even a joke. All the housekeepers that work so hard, all the women that are, you know, working the fields, even Donald Trump agrees with me on this policy. So it's not as crazy as it might look from the outside.
Alex Stein, you are incorrigible. Thank you so much for your time tonight.
Always a pleasure. Thank you for having me.